Hello, and welcome to Twin Peaking, where I showed my friend Jay my personal list of worst to best episodes of Twin Peaks, and she sees if she can figure out what the show is. If you're liking the show, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and tell anyone you think might be interested. Also, please make sure to go follow my friend Jay at twitch.tv/JanuaryK. That's January K-A-Y. Without further ado, let's get into it. Hey Jay, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Mac?
Oh, you know, hanging in there, doing my best. Happy Halloween by a day.
Happy Halloween.
Yes, and happy Halloween to everyone else who's getting this on New Year's. Where we're at currently on the upload schedule.
Rate, yeah, I was about to say, at this rate, it could be next year that they get this episode.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. It's been a couple weeks since we've watched an episode as well. So
Yes.
where are you at as far as that goes?
I watched a couple of the Log Lady things. I can't remember where I'm caught up on. But, yeah, they are more palatable than I thought they would be. She is not as annoying as I thought. Very meta.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's surprising that they're, like, I guess it's not surprising, but it is surprising at the same time that, like, those were recorded later, because they fit so well with the show.
Yeah.
Like, it is part of the show. I wouldn't even consider them, even separate, you know? So, like, I think it's well done. I think they're very good.
Yeah, if we had started the project the way we're watching it now, rather than where I edited in the reactions and stuff, if we had started the project how it is now, I would have had us watch the Log Lady intros for each one while we were watching the episode. But because of how we set it up with the reactions, it wasn't really feasible. And now we're not doing it, and I regret not like forcing that upon the thing there, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
I'm glad you're backtracking and getting into those. I've missed Twin Peaks. I haven't done anything with Twin Peaks besides what we're doing now, and so like it feels weird for me because like I feel like I've constantly watched it the last year and a half, 2 years, right? Like, and so like having weeks off from it, I'm like, well, there has to be like I feel it in my bones of like. I'm continuously drawn to it, like this gravity well, you know. But like, and normally I'd fill that space with like editing the Twin Peaking thing, but like I've taken off most of this month to recoup and try to realign stuff, and so I haven't done that. So like I feel that emptiness, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know what that says about me. Because like my relationship to this show, I'm starting to think it's not healthy, Jay. I'm starting to think my
codependency on the show.
A little bit.
Oh my gosh.
But now we're back in it, and I'm about to relapse. So here we go.
Yay!
That's probably not an okay joke to make, but I'm not editing a second of this. All right. Are you ready to get started? Anything you want to bring up?
I'm ready.
Alrighty.
I am ready to go. What episodes is this?
Season 3, episode 7.
Season 3, episode 7. Yeah, the furthest that we've gone now.
I know.
Exciting. Wow.
Yeah. So, God, I love this episode. Sorry, that's how I start these. God, I love this episode so much. So many of my favorite scenes are in here. This was season 3, episode 7. There's a body, all right.
Ooh, there's a body, all right. Okay.
Yeah. We're getting in it now. Right? Like that's kind of how this episode feels a little bit. For me, what did you make of the episode as a whole?
This episode felt like, again, the first time I watched Twin Peaks, where there was a lot of information thrown at me and I didn't know how to process it. So my notes are actually quite long. I've mentioned in a previous episode, you can tell how stressed I am on each episode depending on how long the notes are. And so the notes for this one are quite long. So I have a lot to say about this one this time around. So yeah, I'm excited.
Ooh, yeah. No, that is exciting. Yeah. So I do love this episode so very much. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. There's so much in this episode to talk about.
There is.
All right, should we jump right in then? Any other opening thoughts?
Let's jump right in.
Yeah. So we open with Jerry in the woods, and he calls Ben. Which is a more lighthearted start to this episode than I think the rest of the like there's lighthearted stuff in this episode, but like it is like peppered in, right? It's not like so starting off the episode this way makes it feel like it's going to be more lighthearted than it ends up being, right? But yeah, it is Jerry. He's lost in the woods. He's freaking out. He calls Ben. Ben answers. Jerry's like, I think someone stole my car. Because it's not in the middle of the woods. And when Ben's like, what? Somebody stole your car? He's like, you said it too. And then there's like a beat and he's like, I think I'm high.
Oh, poor Jerry.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, what'd you make of this as our opening scene?
It's definitely a lot more lighthearted than I expected. I love how you can see like Ben's age too in this one. His face is so close to his phone that he's like, what do you say? It's very funny. I thought it was a very fun, lighthearted scene.
There's a lot of good old men with tech in this episode.
Yes,
and we'll get there, but it is like a running theme of this episode, and I love it so much. Anything to mention about that though? Apologies for anyone watching this. You may hear kids in the background. Kids are playing outside. It's a Saturday at noon, so like, you know, that's fine, but you may hear that.
Kids are touching grass.
Yeah, exactly. It's good. It's a good thing.
It's a good thing, if anything. Yep.
Yeah.
No, nothing more than that. Good scene. It always, because we're bouncing back and forth between season 2 and season 3 a little bit these past couple episodes. It's so interesting to see the age progression of everyone. Jerry, I did not recognize. I had to ask you who that was because I did not recognize Jerry. It really hits home how fast time progresses for us, and so I just had a little bit of a moment there.
This came out nearly a decade ago.
Yeah, already, which is crazy.
Which feels like, like I wasn't around when it came out, so like I don't know why I feel that way, but there is something about it where you like being cognizant of that. You're like, oh my god, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
So after that we get a scene with Hawk and Frank Truman with parts of Laura Palmer's diary. We get a nice little recap of some information, some of which you now know. But yeah, like this is one of those like overt references to Laura Palmer like 25 years later, and she keeps popping up this episode, which is interesting.
Yes.
But yeah, so they go over, talk about the diary. There's some interesting information in there, some of which I can't remember, but you might have had from Missing Pieces. I don't remember if the Annie dream was in Missing Pieces or not, where like Annie's in the bed.
No.
Well, I don't think you knew who Annie was at the time either way.
Yeah.
Though, right?
I didn't. No, and like I don't like even if she was mentioned, it probably wasn't overtly because I was not the whole Annie dream is like a whole note for me because I didn't realize that was a thing. Basically in my notes I wrote things that seemed new to me.
Okay, yeah.
Like for example, one of the pieces of information that they mentioned is that one of the pages is still missing from the diary.
Yes.
That one's new. That's a new piece of information. Another new piece of information is that it was I don't know if we've watched an episode like this, but like I do remember Leland was questioned about the murder of Jacques Renault, but I don't that's remember
the one where it like pulled out from inside the hole, the stucco hole or whatever, like the weird paneling, and it pulls out, and we're like, that's weird and cool.
It was that one. The one that Leland hid the pages is kind of a new piece of information to me.
I'll let you know this. They don't show that in the original show. This is like
not so this necessarily is just new information.
I don't know if you'd call it retconning because like it's not like retroactively making new continuity, or I guess it kind of is, but like it's something that feasibly could have happened. We saw him at the PlayStation a few different times, so like it could have happened. It doesn't feel like it's like changing previous information, but it is not information we had up until this point.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then the whole piece of information, which I guess alludes to like one of the last few episodes of season 2 that I'm missing from my continuity, is the last episode where it was Coop left the lodge and walked away with Annie Blackburn. And afterwards, he was seen by Doc Hayward, but then he left town like immediately afterwards. And so, that was like the big piece of information that I got from that scene.
There's a little bit of this that you definitely got from Missing Pieces that you didn't have context for, because it did like 1 month later at the end of Missing Pieces, and then we saw Annie Blackburn being wheeled into the hospital, and then someone stole her ring.
Oh, I don't remember that at all. Okay.
In Missing Pieces, it was like one of the final scenes, and you're like, at the time, you're like, oh, is that Laura? Because it was a blonde woman just being wheeled out.
Okay, I do remember that. I remember that. Okay.
So it's so much fun because like there's been a few times where she popped up in Missing Pieces, like actually as a character, and you were just like, I don't know. And then when we met Annie properly, I don't think those dots ever connected until
it never connected. No, it didn't. Yeah, it did not. Okay.
Which makes all the creepy scenes like to talk about season 2 again, of how like creepy that romance is between him and or between Annie and Coop, not because of anything they're doing, but because of the way it's framed as like doomed.
Yeah.
Right? That makes all of that so much worse, seeing that part of it in Missing Pieces. And so I kept waiting for that to come up, the same way we talk about Maddie being doomed and tragic. I thought the Annie thing would come up that way, and so I'm just now realizing that you didn't realize who that like
I did not,
which is a good time.
That's funny.
But any additional information here that like I'm gonna let you take over this part of the scene, because a lot of it is recap, but I don't know what part of it's recap and what part of it's new information for you.
That's fair. I like that they mentioned Harold. That guy.
Yes.
Screw that guy. Very funny, but like, what the hell? And then I wrote the note of the one who came out was not good. That's something that Hawk said. So it seems like Hawk is Hawk doing the real detective work around town. Good for him.
Well, so that was in the diary specifically. Yes. Annie specifically says, "I'm in the lodge with the good coop."
Yes.
And so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have left of that scene.
Alrighty, and so we get a scene where we're at the end of that scene. Frank is like, "I'll call Harry and see what he thinks of all of this." And then we get the call where Frank calls Harry, and we find out that like he's really going through it with whatever illness he has, whether that's cancer, whether that's whatever. And so Frank does not tell him the information is said is like, rest up, it's not time sensitive. And so yeah, what'd you make of that?
Yeah, the whole quote is I hope you beat it. Kind of it. I through the couple episodes that we've seen of season 3, I had hoped that Harry would make an appearance at some point. But for some reason in my head, that line of "I hope you beat it" kind of solidified in my mind of like, oh, I don't think Harry makes an appearance in season 3. I think they just reference him a whole bunch, but I don't think he makes like an actual physical appearance, which makes me sad. But yeah, that line for some reason hit hard for me. I was like, oh, like, you know, it also plays into a part of like, you know, life goes on, you know, the people that are in Twin Peaks are stuck in like this, whatever this is, right? Meanwhile, Harry, he has like his own big problem to deal with, and like he can't be a part of this kind of deal. And I don't know, that when Frank Truman said that, I was like, oh, like, that one kind of like...
It kind of feels like if they were going to cameo him, like this is the moment to do it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, unless he comes in like as a big hero at the end. Like as the big, like, whatever reveal.
I'm gonna pull my boyfriend out of the good lodge kind of moment.
Yeah. Unless it's that, this feels like the moment he should show up for a cameo if he was going to. Right?
Yes, exactly.
I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm not saying you're correct or not, but it does give that feeling. I am validating your feelings on that.
It feels solidified that like, oh, I probably shouldn't put out hope of like, oh, is he going to show up on this episode? Like, this one really felt like this is them telling like, this is probably going to be the last time that we hear of Harry, at least for now. So kind of, it hit home for me.
After this, we get a scene of you said that Hawk's the only one doing police work, but it looks like Andy's actually stepped up to do work.
Yeah. Because I'm so proud of him.
I know. Andy is there at this house. This area is so gorgeous. I'd move here in a heartbeat. It's so pretty. Not the point. Andy is in this lawn, and he's like, "That's your truck." And guy's like, yes, but we can't talk here. We can't talk now. This guy is panicking. He has like a trucker hat on, long hair, beard. And he's like, yes, that is my truck, but we can't talk about this here. And Andy's like, okay, what is your solution to that? And then eventually he's like, we'll meet there at this road in 2 hours. And the guy sets his watch. He's like, okay, but you have to leave. You can't be here right now. And Andy does take that at his word. I'm interested in what you think is going on here in the first place.
Yeah.
But B, how you feel about Andy's police work here.
Yeah, it's an interesting focus on cars this episode too. It's kind of fun. I think that the guy's truck was probably seen at some sort of scene of the crime we haven't witnessed yet. At least I haven't witnessed yet.
Right. Yes.
So the guy is probably involved in some sort of something that I don't know. It's interesting because Andy, like, I feel old Andy would be like, okay, and then like kind of take the guy at this word, but new Andy, older and wiser Andy, kind of has a look of like he really hesitates to leave the guy. The Andy really takes a moment to think of like, okay, like we'll show up in 2 hours, but like 4:30, like Andy has kind of like a I really don't believe this guy that he's gonna show up, but he still steps away and drives his car out. But Andy, like I can see that there is a moment that Andy doesn't think that that's going to happen, but he follows that guy's instructions basically. So
I get a little bit of a different vibe, but I actually agree with you in the broader sense of Andy's change here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like that Andy, at least it looked like to me. We don't know what he's thinking, but I feel
I agree with you. I think old Andy would be like, okay, well, come down to the sheriff's office when you can, right? Would be his attitude.
Yeah.
I think that new Andy, I like this because like how often do we watch like a movie or a show or whatever where like because the police are staying and interrogating a guy, they make somebody and that person ends up dead, which arguably is kind of what's implied here later in the other scene.
Yeah.
You know, and so like how often do we see that and we're like, no, like you have to like believe this guy that he's like, listen, you can't right now, it's bad for us. Like if they see this, like how often do we get frustrated when in those shows where they don't do that? Instead, Andy is like thinking on his feet, comes up with a solution of like, fine, this isolated area where we'll be able to see people coming or like not see people coming because it's the woods, but like, you know, where we're isolated and like we're not going to be seen there. We can talk there in a couple of hours. But also like I feel like his attitude is like picking up that this guy's in distress and kind of like trying to figure out why.
Yeah.
Which, so I don't get the sense that he doesn't think the guy's going to show up and is trying to catch him. I get the sense that he's like picking up on like, all right, so here's a solution to that, which is more than Andy would have done previously. You know?
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair.
I think we both agree in his growth and how what he's picking up more, or rather, like maybe he's always been able to pick it up but didn't know what to do with that information. Now it seems like he's actionable in a way he didn't used to be. But like it still feels true to his character. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
So I like this. I can't comment on the stuff, but like I think this scene more like this back to back with the earlier Laura Palmer scene kind of set the tone for this episode of like there's a deep unnervingness to this episode as a whole. And then there's also like the like bringing back the like it feels like the show's kind of coming awake almost. Because like we're back to the Laura Palmer stuff and talking about all the you know, her case and how that's still affecting people 25 years later. And then we have scenes like this where we're like, something's fucked up here and we don't know what it is, right? And those two things married together kind of make this like nervous energy throughout the episode, in my opinion.
Yeah, you said, I can't remember the phrase that you said. You literally just said it. You're like, oh, the episode comes alive. Like the show comes alive.
The show's
in this
like
episode.
waking up. I'm not the only one who says that, to be fair. Like a lot of people say that like they can feel around now that it's like, it feels like whatever stagnation the show, and you've seen enough of like the episodes before these. You've seen 1, 2, and 5, right? Particularly like with 1, 2, but also in 5 a little bit, even though that has a little bit more energy. It feel like you can feel that the town is stagnated. You kind of even commented on that earlier this episode. And so like, but we could, it feels like it may be slow and building, but there's motion now. Like it's ending its stagnation, and that may not be a good thing. It is a good thing because stagnation is bad, but like what is coming may not be a good thing, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's interesting because the first 2 episodes of season 3 were good. Like it literally starts off with a murder, and like, you know, all that kind of stuff. But like there is a type of like heightened nervousness throughout this episode that feels different from the first 2 episodes of season 3. Like it felt like when I started writing the note, like it was after the call with the next scene with Doc Hayward. After that, my notes started getting really long, and that's when I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is like I feel the energy is different. There's something different in the air with this episode compared to like the first 2 episodes of season 3 feel like they feel slower. I don't know how else to describe it. They just feel slower. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just it feels way more stretched out, I guess. I'm guessing that's the word I'm going to use.
It is funny to say that in the episode that drives some people crazy because of the 10-minute long sweeping scene. We will get there.
Oh yeah,
but
I forgot about that.
It's so funny that you're like, yeah, like the earlier episodes feel slower, and this episode has that long extended sweeping scene. That's funny in conjunction with each other, but also I agree, like fully I'm with you on this. But it's in a couple of scenes we'll talk about it, but there's a scene where Knox is on the phone with Colonel Davis, right? And when she's on the phone, like we just see this black figure walking towards her the entire time. It's that, right? It's no longer like the episode 1 and 2 that you saw, like the horror that was in that was more like conceptually scary, and then a couple of like traditional horror, like the big monster in the box or whatever, and then like conceptually scary stuff with the Black Lodge. But like that was pretty much what it was doing. This is like like the David Lynch experimental horror that we kind of expect when it does horror, right? It's the Bob walking over the couch in episode 2 of season 2. It's that in here, when the earlier episodes didn't have that as much. 5 had a little bit of that with but like not nearly as much. We feel it ramping right now, right? So yeah, no, I fully agree with you. You touched on Truman calls Doc Hayward. He calls up Doc Hayward. I love this so much. He calls up Doc Hayward. He's like, Doc, do you have Skype? And the Doc's like, yeah, I used it to diagnose eczema for a person that never left my bed. Like, here's my handle. And then Sheriff Truman pulls up this lever and the screen pops out of the desk rising up. It's so good. It's so good. I love this so much. And then like as he's typing in the handle, he's like single finger hunt and pecking, like it's old man technology. Frank Truman, like when he was calling on the iPhone earlier, it was kind of like that, like old man with the iPhone or whatever, and now he's like he has the it reminds me of my grandpa. My grandpa is getting old, but he's like up to date on like all the Apple stuff and knows all of it and is like in it, and but like he still treats it like an old man a little bit. It's like a combination of both. It's so like having that desk and hunt and pecking, but also like clearly knowing technology is so funny.
Yes.
Before we get into what they talked about, how'd you feel about like this call and the thing? I expected a bigger reaction to Doc Hayward making his cameo here.
Well, I like seeing Doc Hayward here. Like it made me happy that like it really seems like there was a really big effort to make sure that everyone from the previous recording of Twin Peaks was included in some way.
Yeah.
In this new one, like clear, like, you know, there's like could be a story reason why Doc Hayward isn't actually, they're not actually physically interviewing him, right? There could be a story reason of like, oh, he moved away, or oh, blah 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 blah.
Like, in the books, it is that's confirmed all good that and he dandy. Moved away. Yeah, but
okay, yeah. But like, that's all good and dandy. But like, we all know the real reason, and that's because Doc Hayward is old. That is an old man, and you know, probably not best for him to travel to a set. And so, but they still want to include him, and so I just, you can tell that there is a level of care in the entire production that is purely highlighted in this scene, and like, it's funny. Because them calling on Skype still works for the show. Like, it's not like a convoluted, like, oh, blah, 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 blah reason that they call him. Like, it's still all-encompassing, like, very much still ingrained into, like, the lore of the show. And, like,
the thing that the information they just got, they need to follow up with Doc Hayward, especially since he's not going to talk to Harry about it right now. Yeah. So it makes a lot of sense to include him here. That I would like to point out that in memory of this episode,
I did see that.
Warren Frost, who plays Doc Hayward. Yeah.
I did see that.
I think he passed a couple months after this, and so again, another person who got filmed.
Oh my gosh!
For their thing, and then passed away before the show ever came out. Like, there's a lot of them. That keeps happening. Like the big one, obviously, that we both have talked about is Margaret Lanterman, the log lady. But yeah, Doc Hayward's like that. I don't know if we've gotten to the episode that is dedicated to him, but Miguel Ferreira, Albert, was like that. He passed away before the show came out. He's probably the one that has the biggest role, and that happened to in the show.
Yeah, holy crap!
But yeah, like it does key. Like that is like, it ended up being like a through line thematic thing just because that kept happening. Like because everyone's so much older. Like excuse me. But like some of these people were already 40 and 50 when they were recording their stuff in the first one, and it's 25 years later, right?
Right.
My AC just kicked on. I'll let it run. Fuck it, you guys couldn't deal with that. But yeah, so they have a conversation about what happened after Coop was taken to the hospital, which we see why that happens in I think Missing Pieces. Where he hits his head against the mirror, where you learned the and brush your teeth happened to be really thematic.
Yes.
By accident. So yeah, we get the follow-up to that. What did you make of this information? Anything that stands out to you?
Okay, I wanted confirmation because I don't know if I heard it properly. Okay. But I didn't want to ask it during the episode. Doc Hayward mentioned someone being in a coma.
Audrey.
And then he said, yes, okay, it was Audrey. I was like, that's what I wanted to confirm. So Audrey ends up being in a coma at some point. That was a big piece of information. But I was like, did he say Audrey? Like I was like, like I was like, what's going on here? So like I wanted to confirm
You've
that.
You've had a lot of revelations this episode.
Yes,
because there's one where you're like, wait, what? In like the next scene too. So
it's literally the next scene, yeah. So I was kind of like, oh my God, like someone is in a coma and that's Audrey. Wow. I don't know what to think of that. Like what happened to her? That's so sad. And then
something
that was like the big piece of information.
All he says is after the trouble went down at the bank.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see.
Well, do you think that's a we'll see in terms of the end of season 2, or do you think that's a we'll see in terms of like in the 25-year sense, this is something that happens and they flesh it out a bit?
Yeah, I think they flesh it out. Like, part of me is like, there's no way that Audrey doesn't show up. To me, it's like, no, I do think that Audrey makes an appearance in some way, somehow. I don't, like, part of me is like, I don't think she's still in a coma. Like, maybe she's recovered or, you know, like something is up there that doesn't make fully sense to me that Audrey wouldn't show up. Because to me, I like the three people that if no one else were to show up and I were just to pick like a certain select people to make an appearance, regardless of how I feel about them, it would be Shelly, Audrey, Donna. Those are the three that just make sense for them to show up in this. So like the fact that Audrey coma, like, I don't know, it doesn't feel, that's a puzzle piece that doesn't stick right to me. So I do think Audrey and Donna do show up at some point in this show. So.
I would say bigger than Audrey would be Bobby and things that need to, because we may forget, but he was Laura Palmer's boyfriend. If we're just if we're centering the show on like the echoes of Laura Palmer, you know, and we got Bobby this episode, which is nice. But yes. Yeah. If I don't know if you picked up on that, but he is in this episode.
He is? Wait, yes. Hold on.
Yes.
Okay, we'll get to that when we get there, I guess, because I don't remember seeing Bobby at all.
No, I'll just tell you now. At the very end, in the diner, after the yelling and in the scrolling scenes, the one who's talking about Heidi, the waitress, who you may not recognize, but she was in a couple episodes of the first 2 seasons.
Okay.
But the guy with gray hair is facing the back that was like very prominent in the corner. That's Bobby.
That's Bobby?
That's Bobby, yeah.
Can you open that up? Can I see that again? Please? What? Wait, I did not even... Okay. It's not that I don't believe you. I just need to see it with my own 2 eyes. Because...
I'm like 90% sure that's Bobby.
Okay. I'm trying to, like, envision Bobby old face in my head.
The one who's sitting across from the bald guy directly in the right corner, in the little painted out.
That Bobby? Oh man, I need to see his face. I need to see the face.
I'm 90% sure that this is how they did it. So yeah.
Huh.
Either that or else it's an extra that looks a lot like older Dana Ashbrook from what I remember from Psych. Because if you've seen Psych, that's how he's aged. He grayed like pretty heavily. So
wow,
I'm pretty sure that's him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that counts as what you're talking about, though.
That does not count. That does not count. He needs a speaking role.
This is the episode of a lot of cameos or attempted cameos for people who aren't going to be in the show. So, maybe they're scheduling stuff. You know.
Yeah.
And this is the best they could do.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anything else to make of that call with Doc Hayward?
No. I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad that he gets to make an appearance. That makes me happy.
Something I'll just highlight then for you is that Coop left the intensive care that Audrey was in.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I did catch that.
Yeah. Okay. So after that, Knox arrives in Buckhorn. I want there's a lot of shows that I want this to spin off from this show, right? Because it feels like this show's a lot of shows in a trench coat being different shows sometimes, you know. But Knox and this whole thing that she's going through, and don't get me wrong, I love the Buckhorn people here too. I'm in love with the coroner, but
yes.
No, I want this show because I love her in these scenes. She is so good. But she walks up and is like, Hi, yes, detective. Oh my God, what's his name? We get a lot of detectives in this episode, and I can't remember what this one's name. But she's like, yes, hi, detective. You have the prints. Where did you get where did you get them from the crime scene? And this is where we get the title drop, where he's like, no, from the body. And she's like, there's a body? And he says, oh, there's a body, all right, which is the name of the episode. Not a lot to talk about in this part of the scene. There's more in a second, but it is a nice little setup of her arriving and then being taken over to the body.
Yeah.
And you get the idea that like whoever this is, who you find out in a second because you have a major reaction to it. But like Briggs has been popping up with fingerprints in different places, and now she's like, oh my God, there's actually like a body. Like it's making we were already kind of like, oh, this is a big deal. This is making it an even bigger deal.
Right.
A little bit. So then we get to the corner where we find out that the body is too young to have died a few days ago and be Briggs, but the prints match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is when she steps away, weirded out, calls her boss. And as we get the information drop about it being Major Briggs, we get this black figure walking towards Knox and the camera just in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What'd you make of all of this?
Yeah, so that being Briggs kind of like, holy shit, what kind of moment for me? Because like Major Briggs is one of my favorite characters. Like as we, I think as a fun little spin-off of episode of our podcast, I do a breakdown of like a tier list of my favorite characters. Briggs would be an S tier for me. I just love Briggs as a character. And so
what a turnaround that's been too.
This is really upsetting. Yeah, that is a turnaround because I was like, fuck this guy. But like, what is he doing talking about the Black Loge and the White Loge? I don't care. Give me more Laura Palmer. This was very upsetting. A very upsetting revelation. I do think that is his body. Because it makes sense to me that like he would meet a fate like this, him being engulfed in a bunch of weird shit all the time. I feel like it's unfortunate, but I feel like him going down in flames, I feel is a very appropriate end for his character. Like, I don't think he doesn't seem like the type to retire quietly. He seems like the type to always constantly be going for something, right? And so that's why it's upsetting that he is dead because I like him.
Yeah.
But I do think he went down with a fight. I think this implies that he went down swinging, and that doesn't surprise me for his character.
Yeah.
I don't like what they did with his body afterwards. Like, why'd they get rid of his head? That's so sad. And so, I don't know what's gonna happen there, but that was upsetting. Also, I'll make comment on the man walking.
Yes.
Very, like, I was like, I hate it. Like, one thing about horror genre is I hate it when the main character doesn't turn around, Detective Knock, what the frick are you doing? And so that was frustrating. It was scary, like, it's very well done, but I was like, turn around, lady. And then she turned around and saw him, and then she kind of was like, okay, I gotta go, bye. And I'm like, oh, okay. No reaction from her, basically.
So
like,
I think the question is did she see him?
I do think that she did. I think that, like, she kind of has
I don't think she saw him. I think she senses him around, but doesn't actually see him. I think she feels a thing. and looks but doesn't see anything, and so she's creeped out, and it's like, all right, I gotta go. Like,
that's not really the vibe. I thought that she, like, okay, maybe I'm a little jaded, but like, maybe I'm just so used to FBI agents just knowing supernatural shit that they're just used to it. So maybe that's why I thought that, like, Detective Knox had that reaction.
Like, this is a supernatural thing. I need to step away real quick.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Person in the entire show be like, oh, I see this truck coming. Let me step out of the way, rather than everyone else we met.
Literally, that's what I thought was going on. I thought that she was just used to bullshit like this, and she's like, all right, I gotta go. There's some shit happening. Like, I'll talk to you later.
Honestly, like, if that is what happened, then I love this more and want that show even more. Of like the person who's like, oh, I do see this. I'm not reacting to it because I'm over it. It's so funny. No, I get the vibe.
That's what I thought was going on.
I get the vibe she doesn't see it because afterwards we get kind of a confirmation as he walks by in the background as they're all three talking. None of them react to him walking by.
Yeah. I didn't think that the other two would. I didn't think the other two would. Okay. I didn't think the other two would react. I didn't think that they saw him, but I thought that she definitely did. And so
well, like, and don't take my word for it because like it's not confirmed one way or the other.
Sure.
So like yeah, my interpretation is that like we can see it, but she doesn't. She just feels something. Right?
Okay.
She can feel it coming, but like isn't like doesn't actually see it.
Okay. I like my headcanon because it's funnier. So
I love your headcanon of that. Yes. I just imagine she would say something to the boss because that's her boss who probably also knows supernatural bullshit since they're involved with Briggs. So I just imagine if she saw something, she'd be like, oh, like this incoming, or like, you know, say something real quick and then walk away. Like, you know.
Sure.
But yeah, no. I do like your headcanon of that.
Thank you. Thank you.
We get a lot of low rumbling. Like when he walks in, there's some of that.
Yes.
Like a low electronic rumbling.
Yes.
And we get a lot of that throughout this episode. It's part of the nervous energy because like sometimes you get that low rumbling in horror games and in horror media, and that's like, it can be creepy, it can be creepy, it can be scary, right? What I think sets this apart is like the electricity part of it, because it's not just a low rumble that sets you on edge. It also has that energy to it of like kind of a crackle that I think is what gives it like, oh, it's this low oppressive thing that's coming and is active. You know, like it feels worse in a good way.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anything else to mention about the body and the call and the man?
The whole inconsistencies of like, he's supposed to be 70, but its body's late 40s, 5 to 6 days, died ago, blah, 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 blah. White Lodge shenanigan bullshit. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to for now until taken otherwise. But I did want to point out that I did notice that inconsistency.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. From the characters, it makes sense that they're weirded out by it, but for the audience, like the characters might be like, "Oh, is this really Briggs or whatever?" But for the audience, we've already been through a lot of supernatural bullshit, so we're kind of like, "No, yeah, it's Briggs. It's just supernatural bullshit." Like, right? Which is kind of fun. So then we get where she's like, she tells the detective, "You didn't hear from me, but I don't think it's gonna be your case much longer." And we get the cut over to Gordon Cole whistling. He has this big poster in his office of like the nuclear bomb. Which is interesting. Like, that's interesting decor, to be sure. But he's like sitting there whistling. He's clearly turned up his hearing aid a lot so he can hear himself whistle, which is funny. And then we get the knock on the door and we get Albert.
Yes.
Yeah. Is this the first time we've seen both of them this season?
I believe so. I think you're right. Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if they were in episode 5 or not.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. We're introduced. Clearly, they're in the episodes you haven't seen yet because they're picking up a plot line in the middle. but you seemed like really surprised. Like you're like, oh, there he is! Like so excited about David Lynch, and then Albert walks in, and you're like, Albert! Like you were so surprised that he was in the show.
I don't know why I didn't expect Albert to show up. So like that it caught me off guard. I was like, oh, it's Albert. Like that made me excited. I was excited for you.
Yes.
Too. I was like, look, Albert's here, Mac.
Albert is an S tier character for me. I have a lot of S tier characters though, but like Albert's definitely like one of my favorites. I love him so much. And so he shows up, and he's so good in the scene too. But he shows up, talks about how he met with Diane, was told to fuck off, and that like now it's your turn, Gordon, to go talk to her, and Gordon's like, you'll come with me, and he's like, say please. And Cole's like, what? And Albert says, you heard me. And then he does say please. It's so good. Like it's so clear how long they've worked together that he knows when he's faking versus when he actually does need to hear. Like which is good. It's a good time. I love them. Before we get to meeting Diane, which we do, what did you make of that? Like, they mentioned meeting Diane. Like most people, as you can imagine, they already did the reveal of Diane before this episode.
Yeah.
Because of how it's phrased for you. But like that was like a big thing for a lot of people, and you kind of got it in this weird order. How you feeling about it?
I'm glad that we finally get to put a face to a name, because like she was such like a character essentially, right? Like I know she doesn't show up in like previous seasons, but like, you know, that is the one that Coop was talking to, and so it's interesting to put a face to a name, like of like, oh, we do actually get to see who Diane is. So
Diane's Laura Dern.
Laura Dern. That's exciting.
So that's doubly exciting for a different reason because of some implications. Because one of the earlier movies that like really put David Lynch on the made him popular as a director was Blue Velvet, which is like widely known as like the prototype for Twin Peaks, kind of. Right. It's like and in that movie, that's where I think that's the movie where he met Kyle MacLachlan, and who was the lead in that movie, and the female lead was Laura Dern. And they were close, and so like it's kind of interesting to have like to bring her back, and she's been in like a couple of his movies.
It's a meta level close, kind
but like
of
there's
thing.
100% a meta level of like so Diane was Coop's like confidant at the very least about all of this, and it's Laura Dern and Kyle MacLachlan, right? Like it's kind of so that's fun. But so they go meet her, and they knock on the door, and this young man opens the door and guides them in, and then she walks out, and she's like, she's so pissed that they're there.
Yeah.
It's so good. And then she's like, and then the young man's like, see you later, Diane. like she's getting it. It's great. she basically tells them to fuck off individually. She says,
individually.
Fuck you,
yep,
Gordon, and fuck you, Albert. She has this. I love this line where Gordon's like, "Do you have coffee?" And she's like, "No, I have no cigarettes either," and takes a smoke, like takes a drag, which is very choice. And then Cole follows it up with, the memory of tobacco. Like, it's so good. Everything about this is so good. I love this so much.
Yeah.
What did you make of this scene, and any important information that stands out to you?
No, I was just really excited. I like seeing the character interactions between the three of them. Yeah. I was just excited to see Diane with a face. Like, I was like, oh shit. Sure. Like, we got a face. And then, like, the scene kept going with her in it. And I was like, oh, okay, like we really get to see, because like it's different when she just shows up for the one scene, and tells them to fuck off and then that's it, basically kind of a cameo. Now, I know that's not like the definition of a cameo, but you know what I mean? Like, basically,
it'd be a
like,
nice little Easter egg of like, oh, this is who Diane was.
Yeah, exactly, Easter egg,
then,
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, we get to see how she interacts, and then they are like, okay, you have to talk to Coop. And I was like, okay, this is like, I imagine the interaction that a lot of people have been like looking forward to, kind of deal. And so I was, as the scene went on, I was just kind of locked in of like, this is exciting. Like this is a build up to something that we're very excited for. So
yeah, she has like this white hair wig. Her nails are painted interestingly. But yeah, just powerful, proper introduction to Diane.
Yeah.
And then, so after she eventually comes out with coffee, gives it to them, and is convinced to go talk to Coop because he's locked up in federal, and they need her opinion on if this is Coop, essentially.
Right.
And so they go on a plane, start flying out to wherever this is. Try to remember where I think it's also in South Dakota, but I don't remember the exact location.
Yes.
But they're in the plane, and Diane just keeps saying "fuck you, Albert," which is so good. It's so funny, and he's like, "All right," like he just kind of is fine with it. And goes to sit down, and we get Tammy Preston. Yeah. Who walks up and is more involved than I think maybe you may have thought.
Yeah.
And talks about the fingerprints. They had fingerprinted Mr. C in the jail, but in order to make it work, they had to reverse one of his fingerprints. Because it was reversed on his finger.
Yes.
Yeah. And then that's followed up with some like cryptic bullshit that you can't understand because you don't have the context, but makes a lot of sense if you knew the context leading up to this, actually, in a weird way.
Okay.
But he's like, put out your hands to Tammy. Tammy puts out her hands and he's like, flip them around, and then starts counting on her fingers. It's very, very nice to see you again, old friend. And then taps on the ring finger and says, this is the spiritual mound. Think on that. I'm hyper curious. I preface this a lot of like bullshit that you can't get because I want to know what you think it is with no pressure of being wrong. What does any of this mean? What's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously the Coop that came out is like bad Coop, right? And so
we saw that at his house in Buenos Aires where he looks a lot more rich than he does in any of the scenes we've seen him in so far.
Yeah, that was kind of like, oh, that's him living life of indulgence that he could not as a good person. I don't know. To me, it's like like, because I'm like getting used to like the supernatural bullshit again with Twin Peaks is like, yeah, of course his fingerprint is reversed. That just makes sense. Like, he's a reflection of Coop, basically. Bad reflection of Coop. And so good Coop in Lodge, bad Coop out in world, and bad Coop reflection of good Coop bad. And so I don't know. I am justifying it in my mind with the information I know. And the information that I know is that this is just supernatural bullshit. And so it just makes sense to me that way. So
yeah, I guess I meant more like what Cole was talking about, but I guess you could also group that in with supernatural bullshit. So
I'll give
you a passing grade. I'll give you a passing grade.
The spirit finger, like that makes sense to me. That totally makes sense that the middle finger is the spirit finger. I don't know where that comes from. Yeah, ring finger. And so it's just, I don't know, just makes sense.
there is also that, like, it's so stupid, but like, if you remember, there's like that old internet meme about like why the ring finger is the ring finger and why that's the marriage band is because like it has a vein that goes directly to the heart, and then like people are like, all veins go to the heart.
Yeah.
Right, but that's like an internet thing, if you remember that as like a thing people used to say about the ring finger. I think there is something to that that I don't remember, but like, you know, it also, I think it is a play on like the ring finger, marriage finger, right? I think it's a play on that. But then we get the scene. Leading up to the scene, they walk into the jail, and Diane's laying out her terms of like, all right, well, I'll be talking to him and asking questions, but like I'm in control. I'm, you know, like very much like I need to be in control of this situation, otherwise we're not doing it. And Cole is like, yeah, absolutely. There's also this weird thing where Tammy needs to like assert herself.
Yeah.
and like, I'm also part of the team. And Diane's having none of it. She's like, sorry, what was your name? She's like, Tammy Preston. And she's like, fuck you, Tammy. And then, and then goes in. I also love the shirt she's wearing in this scene. Like here, the red one. I love it. Now we get the scene. It is so dark in here, and so she goes and talks to Coop, and like raises a curtain. I'll let you take control of talking about this scene because I've seen this a lot of times. I don't know what to talk about with it. She just talks to Coop. Yeah. What stands out to you, and how'd you feel about the scene?
I think that Tammy goes in skeptical if it's Coop or not. And when she finally, Diane, not Tammy. When she finally opens the curtain and she sees that it looks just like Coop, she is shaken. Like, she starts off basically, how I put interrogations, is like their mental battles. And the reason why I think that is because purely of Death Note, and how like the conversation that the two characters have with each other are mental battles that like they fight each other against with their words, right? It's like that with like Silence of the Lambs too. Like that's a very good example of like a mental battle between two separate characters. And so I think like how I see the scene is that Diane, she goes in kind of guns blazing of like, I'm ready to confront whoever this person is, thinking that it's not Coop. Like, she's like, I don't think that this bastard is Coop, but I'm going to go in at guns blazing to try to get that information out. And then she sees Coop, and basically she starts the battle off slipping on her foot. Like, she is completely caught off guard with the appearance of Coop before her. And I think she intended to go into this battle with like trying to figure out if that actually is Coop, of like, what is the last time you saw me? Like, what is it? But the delivery doesn't work because she's so shaken up by it. And then he basically answers vaguely enough that it could feasibly be Coop, but it's not Coop. And it's just interesting to see the mental battle between these two. I thought it was a very good scene. I bring up Death Note because it reminded me of Death Note between L and Light, and how they would fight each other mentally with their words. And so
almost feels like she. I think you have a good image of this, of like the battles of like in Death Note and stuff. This feels like someone expecting that and then is faced with like a Leviathan monster.
Yes.
Like it's like they came in preparing for battle, and then like the thing that they end up squaring up against is like this unknowable like Lovecraftian thing. And you're like,
they don't know. She doesn't know.
Not equipped. Like this is not.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, a little bit. For sure, I 100% get that. There's also other undertones in here that I think are interesting. But we'll get into that when we get into it.
Mm-hmm. There's a weird whatchamacallit? Like obviously there's tension, but there is a weird kind of like underdog battle that's going on with Diane and Coop. That is like she is so in control of Albert and Gordon. Like she knows that she controls the room, and to see her not in that position, and she knows that she's not in that position, was also really, really interesting to watch and play out. So I thought that was kind of fun.
My phone was about to die, so I sent my notes to the Discord so that way I could still have the scene notes, just so you know what that message was.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah. It is a little bit of a tough watch because like there is so much emotion here, and like props to Kyle MacLachlan. He's scary as shit when he wants to be.
Yes.
Like this scene is like again like he feels like an unknowable Leviathan monster in this scene. Like it really does feel that way. It's scary a little bit. And so so she panics and leaves after like asking like, what are you, a few times, and then panics and leaves, right? Where as they're leaving, Cole tells the warden like, you keep him here until you hear from us. Which we know does not happen. No.
Literally like 12 hours later, he is not in the facility anymore. So they step outside, and Diane and Cole have a conversation about like what happened in there, where she is like, hey, like there's something missing in him that isn't there. It's not like it's changed or anything like that. It's gone, right? Yeah.
And he asks about the night that they met up, like because that was referenced, like a night that she'll always remember and stuff. And he's like, is this something I need to know? And she's like, we'll talk about it. So like clearly something went down then. Yeah. And so that's that scene. Meanwhile, Albert and Tammy are just off in their own little corner, kind of like semi overhearing, semi not. And then we get this beautiful other scene cutaway. I guess, is there anything you want to mention about the Cole and Diane thing? No? Okay.
No, I thought that was a nice scene between those two. So
Yeah. He doesn't know, like she hugs him and he doesn't know like whether to hug her back
or
to
put his hands. Yeah.
Which felt real. But like, okay, yeah, good. But like, are you wanting a big hug or are you wanting to be in control? Like, I don't know what this is. But yeah, so after that, we get the scene of Andy on this like wood, again, fucking gorgeous. Oh, it's so pretty. And he's kind of sat there looking. He looks at his watch. He's being stood up. We get a cutaway to the house that he was at. The doors open and we get that same ominous like drone of like crackle of deep electricity. And then we cut back to Andy being stood up there. I think the implication here, like spoilers, we don't get an answer to this, is that guy died. That guy's dead.
I think he died.
In his room.
He's dead.
Or in his house. That
he
man's
went
dead.
forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, like this scene doesn't do much, but it does continue that tone of like, oh fuck.
Yeah. A dread, right? A very big undertone of dread.
Yeah, we've had a lot of that dread throughout this. Like, we'll get like funny scenes of like Diane telling everyone to like, fuck you, Albert, fuck you, Gordon, but then we get her scene with Mr. C. Then we get like this scene. We get like the person walking in the background and knocks, and we're like, so it's just like a constant. It doesn't let us like pause, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after this, Mr. C meets with the warden, like is led back to his cell, tells a guard like, tell Warden Murphy that we need to talk about a strawberry, and so he gets called in. And yeah, there's an interesting conversation here, where he's like talking about dog legs and that there's 3 more still out there going somewhere, and with the information that the warden doesn't want, and the warden shut off the cameras so they could talk freely and is starting to kill him. What'd you make of this scene?
Yeah, I just Mr. C knows way more information than what the warden again misunderestimated Coop. Like again, another mental battle. Like he came in literally with a gun, and then all Coop had to say,
man, how do you lose it when you have a gun and an entire prison?
Exactly. He's still lost. All Coop had to say was Joe McCluskey. And then the warden is completely shaken by the mention of this name.
Yeah.
And then Coop says, I want a car, I want Ray Monroe, and blah, 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 something else. And then he says, I don't need to remind you what happened to the late Mr. Strawberry. And so the Strawberry guy is dead. I don't know who that is, but he is gone. And so there's another victim of bad Coop in the books there. Yeah.
I think that Mr. Strawberry is someone the warden had killed, and that's the blackmail. It's like it's not.
Oh.
I did just hypothesizing, but like I think like Joe McCluskey is probably the guy the warden had go kill this Mr. Strawberry, or might even be Mr. Strawberry. And so like that's the blackmail here. Not that Mr. C did it, just that he knows that this happened and is like, I could make that public. I don't know why we're giving Mr. C a like slightly southern accent, because even when I said that, I kind of went that way, and you did too. He's not southern in the show.
He's not southern
at all. He has like no accent. Like it's very just deadpan. I guess like an American accent, but like barely. Like yeah.
I was under the impression that Joe McCluskey was someone close to the warden, like his son or something, and like how does Evil Coop know who this Joe McCluskey is? And that the Mr. Strawberry was someone that the warden knew. So I was under that impression of like what was going on, and that basically that Coop was threatening whoever this Joe McCluskey was.
That's interesting. I think it's other way, because he mentions like sending out information with the dog legs, and so like it's the information getting out that he's blackmailing the warden with, right? Because he's like, maybe. I'm gonna send it out with the dog this information. So like I thought it was about that, and like
I knew the dog leg stuff was the blackmail, but I was under the impression that Coop was threatening this Joe McCluskey. That was the impression that I got.
Okay, I mean it might be. So because this guy's a bit player in Mr. C's game. Like he's like, okay, I'm not telling you. Like he basically says that you're not my goal here. You just need to get me out of here, and you'll never see me again. We're good. Yeah, is what he says at the end here. So like, either way, you get the idea that not a big deal to him.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So after that, he's let out. He mentions that he wants a friend in the
Ray Monroe.
Oh no, he wants Ray Monroe as well, but he mentions he wants a friend in the glove box.
Oh, a gun in the glove box. Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So now we get a cut to Naomi Watts outside initially. So the first shot is of the sheriffman again. They love this statue. And then we get Naomi Watts outside, and she's getting fed up. And we get Coop at work, just like scribbling on a paper. And Tom Sizemore. Oh my God, what's his character's name? I can only think of the actor right now. But
I mean, that's okay.
yeah. He's like, hey, are you like you took a lot of papers to Bushnell Mullins? What was that about? And Coop's just ignoring him. Then he's like, hey, are you listening to me? And he just continues to ignore him. And then we see that he starts, and then it gets quiet, and he just stays there. Like Tom Sizemore just stays there being ignored as Coop starts scribbling off of the page and pressing the pen into his like little desk thing, like one of those foam protector things on a desk, and is just stabbing into it. And this takes a while. And then lady who kind of hit on him in an earlier episode, the secretary walks in and is like, Dougie, the police are here for you. And Tom Sizemore's like, the police. Oh, that reminds me, I have a call to make. And walks out. Like, and then Dougie like stands up and then does like a I'm doing the motion with my hands, like both hands just kind of like grasping, like, come here, like, and she's like, do you want me to send them in? And he just keeps doing that, and so she's like, all right, and walks in and goes get the police. Oh man, I love this scene so much. It's so funny. Like every bit of this is so funny because like
it's ridiculous.
From him drawing off of the desk and pressing in as Tom Sizemore just like sits there and watches this happen. And then like they're like, oh, I need to make a call as the police are mentioned to like his like get up and motioning, like. Again, Kyle MacLachlan is a fantastic actor. Like, this is such a different vibe than what he's just giving off. It's so funny. Like, the way he'll hang his mouth open and just, like, make mouth motions as stuff goes on in the background of scenes. Oh, my God. I love this so much. But, yeah, so the police come in, and they introduce themselves as Detectives Fusco, which is also very good, because I don't know if you caught this, but in the credits, they are all Fusco, that last name. They're all brothers.
Oh,
brother detectives.
That's fun.
Yeah,
that's so cute. I love that for them.
100%. And I want this show too.
Yeah.
Of them as detective brothers, because like they're only in this for a minute. They are so funny.
They're very good.
So they're like Dougie Jones, and he just kind of stands there, and then Naomi Watts walks in, and they're like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I'm Janie E. I'm his wife." And they're like, "Okay, well, do you know where your car is right now?" And she, like, they give so much space to Dougie to respond, and he does it, and then Naomi will always step in. It's so...
Yeah.
I love this so much. And she's like, "Dougie, do you know?" No, he doesn't. And like, she's like, "Oh, was it stolen?" And he's like, "Stolen." She's like, "There you go. It was stolen." And it's like, she's like, "Yeah, well, why don't you guys go find it? Isn't that what you're supposed to do as detectives?" Like, she's so aggro. It's so perfect. I want a wife like Naomi Watts in this show, like Janie E. Like, she is going to bat for this man who's giving nothing.
She is.
She's so
completely took over the interview, which is very funny.
So funny. Yeah, and the detective, like, she's like, "Well, it's stolen. Isn't that supposed to be your job?" And he's like, "Yeah, once you report it stolen." Like.
Which is so true. Yeah. Like, that is so true.
Yeah, and they all are like, "Yeah, well, you know, the car we're looking into it because it exploded, and there's multiple fatalities who were related to a carjacking ring." And she's like, "Well, there you go, problem solved." Like, right? It's so good. Before we get to
they just accept it.
Yeah, but kind of. They do say, like, "We need you to come down to the office, fill out more paperwork." One of the brothers is like, "Hey, the more famous one, the one who's balding, like, he's a character actor and a lot of stuff, great comedic actor. I can't remember his name though." He's like, "One sec, you'll need to fill out paperwork." And the other one's like, at your leisure, come down to our office and fill it out then, right?
Yep.
So we get the implication that we're not done with this. Yeah. Anything about this sequence of the scene that you want to highlight and talk about, please?
It's so interesting because so I thought it was a funny scene, but I read so much social commentary in that I was like, wow, this is like really interesting of like how society treats individuals with disabilities, with open disabilities, especially mental disabilities, and like, because like I have been talking with a lot of people who work in charity recently with my line of work. Yeah. And one thing that they say is that a lot of individuals who have some sort of severe mental disability, they're often not treated like, people like to ignore that these individuals exist. And so as I'm watching this scene, it's like watching someone who is Coop with a mental disability essentially being carried throughout the conversation by the people around him. And they kind of like, there's like an uncomfortableness of like how people treat those with disabilities, of like, you want to treat them, you know, as people, but like sometimes they can't, those individuals can't really process that information. So you kind of like just leave it. There's like a weird awkward air to it. And like from these interviews that I've talked with people who work closely with mental disabilities, it's trying to change that kind of perception of how these individuals want to be treated. And so as this scene was going on, I was like, oh my god, this is like a case study of like how sometimes societies treat those with mental disabilities who cannot verbalize properly, of like they just let other people talk for them and they accept it, even though Coop said jack shit. Like basically Coop was just parroting what they were all saying to him, and they just kind of took it and like they wanted to move on. There's like an air of uncomfortable of like, them just wanting to move on from the conversation kind of deal. It's just like, I was like, wow, this is I was not expecting that to take that direction. And so maybe that's because it's also like at top of mind to me, because I've been talking with like these people in real life about that work in these charities that help with people with disabilities. And so maybe that's why it's top of mind. But yeah, I was like, whoa, like what kind of, like they're saying a lot in this scene, but it's funny. It's very funny how they do it. So
yeah. I will say that you're not the only one to read that into it. For sure, and I definitely get that too. So I don't think it's just because it's top of mind for you. I also do think that I'm trying to remember. I saw a video essay about Twin Peaks, and I'm trying to remember who did it. Like Chad. I think that's who it is.
Okay.
But she brought up like that like part of the Dougie thing here is like could be read like, not that she gives, like she very specifically is like, these are all readings, not like interpretations, right? Like, or like they're interpretations, not like what it's about. But like on a meta level, when you look through like specifically the era of prestige television of like these men who just succeed by existing, kind of is like a running theme in modern television of like Mad Men and stuff like that, right? And so like when a lot of the other people around them are doing all of the stuff that actually leads to that success, and like you have like the harping wife, and it's like, yeah, but here we're seeing that taken up both to 11 and also like the reason he is succeeding, like, right? Like it is like so like as a commentary of like, well, what are these characters just stand-ins for like a specifically white male audience, like to just succeed, like because he's a blank slate, everything's happening around him.
Right.
And yet, you know, we get the implication that like they're gonna get the insurance money for this, and they're gonna get right, and like clearly whatever happened between season or episode 5 or whatever, like worked out, because like Bushnell is there going to bat for him now, being like, hey, what do you want with my guy? Like right. Yeah. And so like like as a commentary on that, also it works. Just has a lot of layers that it could go through, and it's pretty great. But yeah, so they eventually do walk out. And then a man pushes through the crowd with a gun, goes for Coop to shoot him, and Coop activates his FBI training, takes the man down. Agent. yeah, takes the man down. As a woman says later, he's no victim. He's struck like a cobra. But like takes down this guy and is trying to get the gun away. And again, like marry me Naomi Watts, marry me Janie E. The second this happens, she's not like or like hiding behind him. She's like,
she's choking the guy out.
The guy. like she is so ride or die for this man who is just like existing. Like right, you have to wonder if this, like, you have to imagine that her relationship wasn't always like this. They brought up that like he was in a car accident and has episodes. So like, what was he like outside of this that makes her so dedicated? Because she was like, the second this all happened, like she's initially shoved away so that Coop can grab or Dougie can grab the man, take him down, and grab the gun. But like, she is on this guy immediately. She's like,
she's immediately in there too.
So marry me, please. Okay. So he takes the guy down and is like trying to get the gun away. And then we get the evolution of the arm. We get the tree thing just popping up out of nowhere. It says like, squeeze his hand off. What'd you make of this? And the follow-up of the scene with the
fever dream of a scene. Very funny. I like how Janie is literally choking the guy out. I loved that. And then the interview segments of the people from the media is very funny.
So
like,
funny.
The girl goes like, and smelly too, like about the guy. I was just like, oh, okay. And then that one lady, she's like, no, he wasn't a victim. He struck like a cobra. Was very funny. And again, Janie talking for Coop to the police. She's like, and she's just like, no,
she takes his hand.
And she attributes a quote that Coop doesn't say, which is like Coop, like she's like, Coop said to get off. No, like Dougie said to get off of him or something like that. She says something, and it's just like, girl, like you, like, come on now. But it was all of it is very, very good. I just fever dream of a scene there. So
anything to make out about the tree showing up and saying, squeeze his hand off.
Squeeze his hand off? Like, what are you talking about?
Which he kind of does. It leaves like
he
flesh
kind of does with
on the gun.
flesh. Yeah, on the gun. And so he does try to squeeze his hand off, which is interesting. Maybe the brain tree doesn't understand how the real life works, and so he is like, the only word that he knows is squeeze, and so that's why he says it.
No,
maybe
it's because he's made of all branches, so it's really easy to like break off a branch as one of his hands.
Yeah.
So you're right. That's what it is. Like, just snap it.
Yeah, squeeze his hand off. What are you doing?
What are you doing, scrub? It's so easy.
Clearly that's what's happening. So, yeah.
Oh my God.
I thought it was a good scene.
Yeah.
Very good.
Also, like, the lighting is so weird. Like because like it's trying to make it darker at nighttime, but it's so clear that they just applied a filter.
Yeah.
Which is funny. And then there's like this really weird scene where like they're like in the filtered shot where it's not dark enough to have like what is supposed to be, I think, a flashlight, but it's just like a circle of like less filter searching around before centering on the gun, and then they peel off the skin Dorito. It's such an interesting choice.
Yes, overall. Very good.
Yeah, this entire scene is like, what are we watching now? But also, I am enjoying it. I am having a good time about this. Which then takes us to the Great Northern.
Yes.
Yeah, where we hear a hum, and Ben and Beverly like kind of go searching around for where they think they hear it. You know, it seems kind of flirtatious a little bit between the two.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's an interesting scene because it is literally just them closing their eyes, trying to figure out where this noise is coming from, not figuring it out.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, by the way, we got something in the mail. It's the key that he recognizes from way back, Agent Cooper. Like, oh, that's the room that Agent Cooper stayed in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then here there's like this weird romantic tension between them that he kind of shuts down and is like, it's getting late for professional hours.
Yes.
You should go home. Which is interesting. Yeah, what do you make of this scene before we get to her going home?
Yeah, I just kept on thinking about Josie throughout this entire scene.
Yes, okay, I was wondering about
she's
that.
In
I
the
didn't
walls.
want to be the one to bring it up.
I did not think about Josie, like even earlier with Ben in the Great Northern with talking to his brother. Like she didn't even cross my mind until this moment of like, oh, is it Josie in the wall? Like I don't know. There's something about seeing the wood at the Great Northern now that just like, it's just screams Josie, even though she is not mentioned. She's not even like like, if we're gonna talk about deaths, like, she literally died at his establishment.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, he brings up Laura Palmer, obviously in context with Coop, but like, some other messed up shit happened at the Great Northern too. And like, it's funny. She asks about Laura Palmer. Beverly asks, and he goes, "Well, that's a long story." Like, and it is a long story. That is like 3 weeks of like the most stressful part of Twin Peaks town. And so, yeah, like I said, Josie, I just kept on thinking Josie throughout the entirety of the scene. Like, is she watching this happening? Is she listening right now? Is she here? Like, I got that vibe, especially as it zoomed in on the lamp. And like, Josie's never been associated with a lamp before, but like, I was like, is she there? And so, yeah, Josie was just immediately brought to top of mind.
I want to say that as this was coming out, because when I had watched this initially, I had decided to go to the mega threads of when the show was first being released.
Yeah.
To read on Reddit what people were thinking and stuff, to kind of like immerse myself in it, because I came to it so much later than everyone else. You're not alone. That was the most popular theory going on, is that it's Josie is the hum. You know, and I won't say one way or the other whether that's correct or not. But it is interesting. I think part of that also, and I'm glad that it worked out this way, is if you remember 5 episodes ago.
Okay.
Of what we watched. Season 2, episode 20. Where Martell.
Pete looking at the wall. Yes, I have the notes here. Yes.
He talks to the wood there. As if it's Josie.
Yeah.
And is like looking at the wall. So, you know, just something to bring up there of why that may trigger that thought for you, in addition to everything else. But yeah, you're not alone in this. Here we get the other mention, like you were saying, of Laura Palmer, as she keeps cropping back up. Again, I think feeding into that energy of like, oh, like Twin Peaks is like coming back into motion. Like Laura Palmer showing up in the narrative again, right? Like echoes of her in interesting ways, right?
Yes.
Which I think is interesting. Anything to bring up about this before we go to Beverly's home?
Yeah, no. I guess the more I have to say about it is in the next scene. So. Yeah.
So we get to Beverly's house, where a caretaker is leaving and talking about how her husband waited for her to come home to eat, and that he misses her. She's clearly not happy about this information. And she walks in, and we see her husband, who looks sick, very sweaty, has lost hair, and she stands there and tries to start to have a conversation with him, and is like, let's go eat, I'm hungry, all of this. And he's like, where were you? And she's like, at work. And he keeps like, he's not being aggressive, but he is asking like probing questions. Like it's not aggressive. Like it's not aggressive, but it is definitely probing. It is definitely suspicious, right?
Yes.
And she then explodes at him, being like, well, I didn't want to go back to work. I'm lucky to have this job. And I don't want to be working and doing all this. I have to do this because you got sick, essentially. And he kind of just sits there and takes it. And I forget the last thing that she says there, though. But she screams one more thing at him before we get to the next scene.
Yeah.
Anything to say about that?
it's an ugly reality that a lot of people deal with. And I think it's important because like a lot of people in media, and it's not the like media shows people with sickness as like, oh, you know, they have all this loving family around them that takes care of them. They, you know, but like it is hard to be obviously in Tom's position because he is sick. But a lot of people do not talk about people in Beverly's position.
Right.
Of like, you know, a lot of the times people have to take on a second job because they cannot afford the care that person is taking, or what it's like to watch your husband wither away, essentially. Like, and like people who are sick do have mood swings. Like they are not happy that they are sick, and so sometimes that is taken out on the family. It's not anyone's fault, but it does happen. And so it's like, again, with like Ben and Beverly, like obviously nothing happened between them, but if an affair does occur, like I can, not that it justifies it, but I can see how Beverly is pushed to that, because in this moment you can feel a tenderness from Ben that she is not getting from her husband, because her husband simply can't provide that for her. And that's not her husband's fault, but I can see how an affair can sprout from a situation like this, because, you know, Ben, suddenly work becomes her safe space. Suddenly Ben is associated with a tenderness of care towards her, and like
and she's again, incredibly isolated too.
Yes, and she is isolated. Like she goes to work and like it seems like she went straight home afterwards, right? And so she doesn't really have a social life outside of that. And so it's an ugly side that's not talked about, but I think, you know, I think it's important to showcase this is a reality for a lot of people. Actually, like it is not all sunshine and rainbows when someone in your family is sick. Like ugly things happen when stuff like this happens.
It did remind me, suddenly talking about it, of a line that Naomi Watts gives in the scene before, or where she's like, our son's at home waiting for us to make dinner, and just in case you think we're neglecting him, we have a neighbor watching him. Like, which is very funny. But also like there's a lot of rhyming in this episode of like juxtaposing two like kind of different but similar things. Like we get a disability of the mind with like a disability of the body here now, kind of like juxtaposed, and like him being left behind and not getting dinner as he waits for his wife, and they have their kid at home waiting for them to get dinner, and like caretakers in both situations being like overworked on it a little bit. Not that we know that necessarily for the Janie E side, but like it's tough. And also like I don't know how much or what I should mention here, but so it's Halloween. Well, it's the day after, but it's Halloween. And so yesterday we played through about the first third to almost half of Silent Hill 2, the remake. And so, you know, just hold on to this, I guess, as we get to the second half of it. Okay, cool. And so because certain parts of this episode I was like, shit, this goes well with that. Oh man. Okay. You know, all the joking about like, not joking, legitimately Silent Hill being influenced by Twin Peaks, like obviously doing both back to back. It's like, oh, hey, look at that. Even though this is a significantly later one, I'm like, oh, hey, there's a lot of that in this episode, and we'll get to it next week. Yeah.
I'm excited.
So yeah, then we get the sweeping scene. I love this scene. I reference this scene a lot where when I talk about like how fucked up my media taste is, when I talk about like a lot of people hate this scene. They're like, why is it wasting our time, right? I don't think it's a waste of time. I think that like it goes on long enough that it's both simultaneously funny and uncomfortable. Which I think is important for how the vibe of this episode's been. There's an additional detail. That guy who answers the phone at the end of the sweep. What happens in the scene is we watch someone sweep for like 10 minutes. And then Renault answers the phone, talks about basically sending 2 underage women as prostitutes, and is insisting he gets paid for both of them.
Yep.
This actor is the same one who plays Jacques Renault. Who you've seen once in season 1, episode 7, I believe. Oh, you also saw him walking in a more recent season 1 episode, where his brother Bernard gets caught. But yeah. So it's the same actor. I don't remember if this is apocryphal or not, but I think this is true. He is also sick, like in real life, the actor. Or was at the time, and like needed medical insurance, and his like actor stuff was about to run out, and so they included this scene with speaking lines in order to re-up his insurance.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, that's what I mean, that you can feel the care in this show.
Yeah.
Like, you feel it is a labor of love in the entire... I'm tearing up. That is so sweet. Like, that it is an entire labor of love
but
for
I'm
this
pretty
show.
sure I read an article about that. Yeah.
Wow, that is so sweet. Oh my gosh, if that's true, that wouldn't surprise me if that was true.
No, because that like it's kind of in the lifeblood of the show as a whole.
Yeah,
it's like the tenderness and sweetness that's in the show is very much of that type of like you would do that, and like you haven't seen some episodes where that pops up more, but in season 3, but that's definitely a running theme of season 3 is some stuff like that. So like it wouldn't surprise me if that's true, but it also wouldn't surprise me if that's something somebody said because it's a theme of the show and they're like, so this, right? But like, I remember reading an article about it. I just don't know if that article was factual. So like,
that's fair. Yeah. Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, exactly.
Chat.
Like I want to be clear about stuff like that when I say it, rather than be like, this is what happened. And then it's like, it's not true. Like, I don't want to do that, but I did definitely read an article about it. I just don't know if the article was factual because, you know, it might have been a pop whatever article. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I love this scene. I reference it all the time of being like, you know what? I think it's so like, it takes so long, but like, I'll talk about this scene of like anytime like a game or something is doing a weird dumb thing for most people. I'm like, well, I fucking like the sweeping thing in Twin Peaks, so like I like this, like fuck off. I think this scene's brilliant. Do you have anything to say about this scene besides
I like this scene, but I think for a different reason.
Sure.
So I'll do a play-by-play of like what I was thinking about the scene.
Okay, in that case, can I hold my hand up and finish one last thought though?
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay, if you're going to do a play-by-play, let me just get one specific thought out there. It does piss me mad that, like, he doesn't sweep under the chairs, and, like, when he pushes, like, as he's pushing it, you're supposed to pull all the stuff to the pile. You're not supposed to push the entire pile.
Yeah.
That's how you get trails. Like, he's not sweeping well, but it's a roadhouse, so, like, I guess what does it matter? But, like, as you start to push the big pile to get more of it, I'm like, no, just sweep everything towards that pile. It really bugs me. Anyways, give me your play-by-play of the scene.
You should be a sweep judge. The Sweep Olympics. You should be a sweep judge, and then you can make the rubric criteria for what makes a good sweep, Mac.
I mean, that's literally what that one game is, right? Where they roll the thing on ice and then sweep in front of it to get... Those are literally called sweepers. What's that one called? whatever, it doesn't matter. Give me your
whatever,
play-by-play. So we've already we're at this too long now.
So it starts off where you see the guy sweeping in the corner, and I was like, okay. And like as the scene plays out, like the music is like pretty good. I'm like bobbing to the music.
Like it starts out with the roadhouse, and we're hearing music, so we expect like the ending thing of like being at the roadhouse and it playing a song. But it doesn't happen.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm bobbing my head. I'm like, oh, that floor is disgusting. Gross. And then the thing that got me locked in on watching the scene is that he misses 2 pieces of debris in the back. And I was like, is he gonna go back and get that? But he doesn't. And that was like, okay, come on, bro. Like, that's annoying. And then he keeps sweeping, and then I'm like, oh, I'm like judging his sweep. So I was like, oh, like he got like these pieces, and then he pushed the big pile, and I was like, okay, like whatever. And then he moves the chair, and I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that there were things underneath the chair. Like, okay, I'm glad he's at least looking. So he pushes like one of the chairs out of the way, and then he's sweeping, and I'm like, okay, we're vibing. I'm vibing to the music. You can see in the reaction that Matt doesn't put the reactions in, but like I am bobbing to the music. I'm putting my head back and forth, and I'm just watching this guy sweep, and then the phone rings, and I'm like, wait, I literally just watched, like, I enjoyed watching this guy sweep for like, I don't know how long. I don't know.
Not for like a meta level.
I don't know how long. I don't know how much time passed until the phone rang, but I was like, and then the phone rang was me catching myself enjoying watching this, and I was like, oh, okay, like, whatever. It was the guy was sweeping. He was doing an okay job about it. That's it. That's
for
it.
you, it was one of those like satisfaction TikTok videos.
Yes, like those satisfactory. Yes, like watching people like smush slime kind of deal. Yeah, exactly.
That's so funny. Because like I enjoy it for like a humor and meta level 100%, and like what it's doing in the episode. I thought I was like the wild one for liking that, because everything I hear about this scene is like a ton of people who don't like it.
Yeah.
And so like I thought like I was the wild one for liking it on that level. You just like unironically enjoyed it. Like, which is way freakier behavior, and I'm here for it. Like, let's go.
I enjoy watching slime squishing videos on TikTok. And that if that shows what type of media that I consume in my free time, then there you go.
So important thing here is that like he talks about how the Renault family has owned this bar for like generations, and that they're still whoring out like underage girls. And so like I think an important thing here is that despite everything in Twin Peaks that happened, nothing fundamentally changed.
Nothing
it
changed.
Is like that to the point where it's like not even them being replaced by something else. It's literally the same family. Like all of this stuff, and not to say none of it mattered, but like it because of how things turned out, it didn't stay. It didn't stick. Right.
Yeah.
And is arguably getting worse.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I think is interesting. And has a lot of layers to it just fundamentally by itself. So in the following scene, we see Mr. C and Ray get sprung from jail. It's dark. All these other guards are complicit in letting them go. They walk out, get into a beige car, and drive off. Yep.
There they go.
Yeah, and then we get one final scene. Anything to talk about that? It's just factually what happens rather than...
It happens. Yeah. Bye, evil Coop. Bye.
Yeah. And so then we get one final scene at the diner, which looks busy. We get it from a couple different perspectives. Norma's doing some bills in the corner. And then as that's happening, a man bursts in, says, oh no, I'm fucking up right now. His name's always on the top of my mind. How do oh no. Has anyone seen Billy? It's Billy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Billy. I didn't catch the name, so I don't know.
It should be Billy. As you can tell from my reaction, the name kind of is a through line pops up. And the fact that I'm forgetting it means that it's more important than maybe him just screaming it randomly in the diner and makes it appear. But he runs in, screams, has anyone seen Billy? And then runs out. We get a cut back to Norma, and then we cut back to the diner, and all of the extras are different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is some like nice whatever music is playing, but there's an underlying like drone going, which is uncomfortable. That
increases as the credits roll.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this is where some people start to lock in on some specific things. That in addition to that, that is just a really good weird way to do like not quite a jump scare. Is like have that scene. He comes in, yells, cut back to Norma, and then like from the seat Norma should be sitting in, like she should be where Bobby is sitting.
Yeah,
but she's not. All of the people are different.
Right.
While the credits are going. Yeah, it's
spooky.
Yeah. So, yeah, what did you make of that?
I thought that it was a nice, not nice. It was a very unsettling way to end the episode.
It was a good way in like being like what this episode's been.
End
the episode that way. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, any other thoughts about what the hell that was?
No, supernatural bullshit. Like I said, just supernatural bullshit.
Yeah.
So we'll
just keep writing that one.
See what happens.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was season 3, episode 7. There's a body. All right. What did you, having talked through it all, things that stood out, what are your standout moments, and how'd you feel about it now that we've talked through it all?
I really liked this episode. I think I do like this episode more compared to the other season 3 episodes. Like the other season 3 episodes were fine. It's just there's something, like I said, we talked about it at the beginning of the episode, but it's so vibey different from the other 3 episodes from season 3 that we got. So yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, fully agree. Really like is there yeah, so would you say that you agree with my ranking of where I put this?
Okay. Season 2, episode 2 was the last one that we watched. Which was funny, the title of it is Coma. And then that's like a trigger word for me of like, Audrey Coma? What? Okay, so
that is funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm just reading over the last episode. Yeah, I do think I like this one more than the last episode. Like the last episode was very
it's kind of like this
true
one,
crimey
a little bit.
Yeah, it is kind of like this one
because it's
like
funny
a different
and
type
scary,
of mystery,
but like also deals with the mystery and like there is an energy. But yeah.
There's definitely like the underlying uncomfortable energy in season 2, episode 2 is definitely present in this episode as well. So Yeah.
It just feels like it's dialed up to 11 in this episode, which is why I like it more.
Yes. Fair enough.
Yeah. Glad you agree with that. Yeah, I just tilted my hand there. But like, as you guys have heard, like some of my favorite comedic moments, but I say that, but there's so many in this season. But like, I'm literally cracking up as we get the like police scene with Naomi Watts. I'm literally like I love the sweeping scene. I love all of these moments, and then it has that like underlying evil energy about it that's like so good, right? It's so tasty. Nom 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 nom. And so like both of those things play so well in this episode. So that's why I rate it higher than season 2 episode 2, because I think that they are very similar in vibe. One's obviously a 90s vibe of like the original show, but like the like you were saying, like the underlying tone is very similar to me. But I like this one more because it dials it up that much more, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, what do you think Twin Peaks is about if we look at the last like 4 or 5 episodes?
Twin Peaks is about... the strong women who hold up society and keep us together. That is what Twin Peaks is about. Yeah.
I like it. I don't recall those episodes because we took such a break, so I don't remember if there's supporting arguments for that. But yes, I like it. Great, wonderful. Any predictions for what we get next episode that we watch?
Okay, let me look here to see what we actually watch next. Okay, where are we at?
22.
Oh!
Yeah,
okay.
It's an interesting one for sure.
Okay. I don't know what to expect of that one. That one, like... I don't want to spoil too much of it, but like, okay, I'll say this much. A lot of season 3 episodes, I predict what's going to happen, but then I'm pleasantly surprised of like what's ingrained in it. Like we got a lot of old, like the first 2 episodes of season 3 were very much like introducing new characters, introducing new concepts kind of deal. Yeah. And so as old characters have popped up, they've popped up in unexpected ways. Yeah. And so like I imagine we're going to get more information about the initial murder of season 3, but like how much of Laura are we going to get? Like I don't know where to place that. So I'm not sure what to expect of the next episode.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, it is an interesting one to place for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with the information you have. Like, I wouldn't have you guess anything ever on what. Season 3 is such a wild ride.
Yes,
that, like,
it is.
Like, even if you have all the pieces, you're kind of so like, I don't know what to expect, really.
Yeah.
Which is fun. But yeah, I think that'll do it for us here, because I'm not going to have you predict into the future of this show because we just kind of covered that that's not super easy.
It's not.
And you might have already just done that. So it's a mystery. So I think that'll do it for us. But remember to save the pine weasel.
And brush your teeth.
Alrighty. So fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
Tom, Beverly's husband.
Okay.
Sweeping man. And Warden Murphy.
Oh God. Ooh. Okay.
Or should I include a woman? I can't think of any women.
No. This is fine. This is fine. Okay. F, marry, kill. Okay. I would fuck. Oh, okay. Okay, I would fuck sweeping guy.
Okay.
The things he could do with that broom, you know? You never know.
Sure.
Now, okay, married and kill is hard. Like, I would like to marry the warden because judging of like what he deems, I think he would protect his family just based off of the self-preservation that he went through this episode. I feel like he would do bad things and good things to protect his family, which is why I would want to marry him. But like, morally speaking, like, I don't know how I feel about that. Tom, I imagine that he was a great guy before he was sick, and that's why he was married to a great woman like Beverly, right?
Sure, yeah.
But the attitude that he gave Beverly was not great and not a pleasant guy to be around while he's sick, and it's not his fault. Like I said, it's not his fault that he's like that. But it feels bad to kill him because he's sick. Like feels really bad. And so like I'm kind of like mixed between that, cuz actually I'm going to change my answer. I would fuck Tom.
Yeah,
because maybe he needs that right now. Like he's not getting that from Beverly.
Answer. Yes, it was actually going to be the same.
He's not getting it from Beverly. Like clearly, their bedroom life is dead right now, and so like that's maybe a better justification. And then I would kill the warden because gray area, morally great character. I don't know how I feel about that, so I'll just kill him so I don't have to make that decision. Sure. And I'll marry the sweeping guy. There you go.
Alrighty, I think that's fair. I would fuck Tom for the same reasoning as you. That was my like ace in the back pocket of like, ooh, surprise that you got there first. And then I'm not gonna marry the sweeping guy. Like I wouldn't fuck him either. Like he's so sloppy, he didn't do his job right. If he's not doing it properly when he's being paid there to do it, I can't expect him to take care of me sexually to fuck me. Okay. If that's fair. How he sweeps. Okay. And I'm also not going to marry him because like, look at that. Such a bad job sweeping.
Okay.
So I'm marrying the warden. Because I agree with you. I think for his family. Plus like, yeah, he's getting up to some sketchy shit, but like, plausible deniability, as long as I don't know it as a spouse, that's fine. And even if I do, I don't have to roll on him, and I'm not involved in it, so I wouldn't be culpable.
Okay. I just
get the benefits without doing the crime. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. And so follow-up question. Gang, pirate, or married? God, this always tickles me.
This is always just so funny. Okay, I think gang, here, gang is clearly Warden. Yes. I think Warden would run a very tight-knit gang. Pirate, I think, obviously is the sweeping guy. He would scrub the deck of the ship. I feel he wouldn't do a good job of it, but that's the point of him.
I think it'd be good enough for a pirate ship. It's not good enough for like a restaurant and a serving location, but it's good enough for a pirate ship, I think. I fully agree with that.
Yeah. And then married, I guess clearly is Tom again. Like he is married. He is married.
So... We do see that. It's not a good marriage right now. Might have been at one point, but it's not anymore. No, you nailed it in one. I do think that a slight addendum is probably that Warden, rather than running a tight-knit gang, though I think he would if you put him in a gang life thing like that. More like he's the inside man for a gang at the prison to take care of like their members that are there. Like, hey, treat them, treat these guys correct, and you'll be good. And so he's technically part of the gang, but like an inside man. Okay. But no, you nailed it in one, and maybe that was an easy goal there, because like of course the sweeping guy's a pirate, and so then it's really like to say Tom would be a gang member is wild. No, I guess gang members also get sick and can fall ill that way. So who knows?
That's true.
Who knows? Yeah. But no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right.